What's up, True Team? So judges are there to sit on a bench to make sure justice is served. Okay, they're there to make sure, defense, you're not doing your job. You need to do this. Prosecution, you need to tighten up, do this. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Now I need to decide your fate as a defendant. But for a judge to become a defendant that needs a defense attorney while being prosecuted by the prosecutor is normally not the way to go. However, one particular judge decided to say, I think it's funner to sit down there with you guys than up here. Let's get into it.
We have Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
That I disagree with the judgment that they made. Ms. McKnight will absolutely be appealing this. She did not attempt to kill Mr. McCoy. Thank you.
Former Dauphin County Judge Sonya McKnight has been found guilty of attempting to kill her ex-boyfriend by shooting him in the head while he slept. We appreciate you joining us tonight at 6. I'm TJ Anthony. This morning, the courthouse right behind me, the jury deliberated for less than 2 hours before finding McKnight guilty of first-degree attempted murder and aggravated assault. So she will be sentenced in May. But to take you through the past 3 days of proceedings, we have live team coverage tonight. CBS 21's Jasmine Brooks and Elise Persons are right outside of the Dauphin County Courthouse with the aftermath of this verdict. And guys, a lot of eyes were watching this case closely.
Yes, that's right. And Elise has been covering this since day one. TJ, thank you so much. And so key takeaways from today, Elise.
Yeah, so today kicked off with the judge explaining to the jury how they would be kind of handling these jury deliberations, what they should know, the rules about it, if you would. But one thing that I found very, very interesting in the explanation of how the jury should head into the deliberation room is he talked about how Sonya McKnight did not get on the stand. So, Michael McCoy, the man that, Sonya is now accused of shooting the head, he took the stand yesterday, but McKnight never did. And the judge told the jury that is not evidence against McKnight. This is not something that you can hold against her.
Closing arguments. Can you talk about what the DA said?
Yeah, so the DA, he started his closing arguments sitting down, and he says, looks at the jury, says, typically you go to sleep and you'll have a nightmare. You wake up from it and it's over. He said Michael McCoy on February 10th, 2024, he woke up to the nightmare. He detailed how, this was a heinous crime committed by Sonya McKnight. He asked the jury to put one and one together to come to the conclusion who shot him, and take a listen to him explaining what that sounded like.
Using your common sense, that's what I urge the jurors to do. There were 2 people in that house, and only 2 people in that house, and one of them, the one who was shot, said he did not shoot himself. The logical conclusion is the other person did it. And I'm glad the jury ultimately saw the truth in that statement, and they found her guilty on all charges here today.
Elise, you spent hours inside the courtroom over the past 3 days, so a lot to get to and unpack.
Yeah, so this trial was jam-packed. The jury came from Delaware County, so really it seemed like they were trying to get as much into the day as possible. The trial kicked off Monday. We were in the courtroom from 9 a.m. until 9:15 p.m., just taking one lunch break, one morning break, one afternoon break. And then yesterday, Tuesday, was day 2 of the trial, kicked off at 9 a.m., and we got out around 4:45 after those closing arguments. So it was a jam-packed couple of days. Take a listen to the recap. After 3 days, 24 witnesses, and 50 pieces of evidence, suspended Dauphin County Judge Sonya McKnight has been found guilty of first-degree attempted murder and aggravated assault for shooting her ex-boyfriend Michael McCoy in the head while he was sleeping in the early morning hours of February 10th, 2024. The jury reached their verdict in less than 2 hours. McKnight's bail was set at $3 million, and she was taken immediately to the Dauphin County Prison. It was a jam-packed trial beginning Monday morning at 9 a.m. The jury heard from 17 witnesses throughout the day on Monday, including Susquehanna Police Department patrol officers and detectives, the EMS crews that treated McCoy, and forensic experts. Throughout the trial, body cam footage was shown recapping the minutes after police arrived at McCoy's home and up to police interviews with McCoy the day after the shooting. Gunshot residue was brought up frequently throughout the trial. A forensic scientist took the stand to break down her analysis of the gunshot residue tested in this case. She found McCoy's clothing and hands tested positive for having the maximum amount of gunshot residue present, whereas McKnight's pajama shorts, a singular sock, her robe, and one part of her hand tested positive for gunshot residue. Officers testified Monday morning McKnight washed her hands and dropped her shirt in the toilet before being tested for gunshot residue. Day 2 of the trial kicked off with McCoy's doctors at Hershey Medical Center testifying about the severity of his injuries. His trauma surgeon the night of the shooting said if the bullet went in a different trajectory by just a matter of centimeters, this would have been a very different outcome. On Tuesday, McCoy took the stand for the first time, and he touched on the year-long relationship with McKnight, saying, quote, "There were always problems." He says he made it clear to McKnight on Friday, February 9th, 2024, he was serious. The relationship was over. He then went to sleep. He says he woke up with excruciating pain. On the stand, he said, quote, "I thought I was having a brain aneurysm. I thought my brain was trying to get out of my head." He testified he was the one who asked McKnight to call 911 in the early hours of Saturday morning and was shocked to later learn he had been shot in the head. When asked if he shot himself, McCoy answered no. He says, "I don't know who shot me, but I didn't shoot myself." Tuesday afternoon, McKnight told the judge she would not be taking the witness stand. Her defense lawyer called for the case to be thrown out. That request was denied. In closing arguments, McKnight's lawyer told the jury the Commonwealth did not provide enough evidence to meet the burden of proof and to find McKnight not guilty. Whereas the Commonwealth asked the jury to piece all the evidence together and come to the conclusion McKnight was the one who pulled the trigger. He said to the jury, quote, "When you apply your common sense to this case, the only person who could have committed this crime is right here," McCormick said, pointing at McKnight. And in under 2 hours Wednesday morning, the jury came to that decision, finding Sonya McKnight guilty on 2 felony charges.
Okay, so because you were in the courtroom and cameras weren't allowed, you really can give us firsthand experience of what you saw. I want to know what McCoy did when that verdict was read today.
So I was watching him closely as the guilty verdict came in, and he was sitting in the front row behind the Commonwealth, behind the prosecution, and there was a small ledge right there in the front row. And as they read guilty, he put his head down, slightly, and kind of up and down with his head, pounded lightly that ledge a little bit, seemingly in a relief and a victory sensation. So really, just a moment to see in person.
How about Sonya McKnight?
Sonya McKnight, her back was to us. She kept her eyes seemingly on the judge, and I was looking for any sign of emotion, if you would, looking at her shoulders, and I didn't see anything. It wasn't until she was walked out of the courtroom in cuffs that I finally got to see her face, and it was pretty expressionless, I would say.
Also, she had to take off all her jewelry, hand her purse over to her family. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Somebody who had so much power kind of in that moment, stripping their sense of identity in a way.
Right. I mean, it was really interesting because as the jury went into the deliberation room, I was watching to see what Sonya would do in that time while they were in there. She was able to be on her phone. She was sitting there interacting with family members. But once that guilty verdict came in, she had to stand up. She started by removing her earrings. One of the court officers helped her remove her necklaces. All of that jewelry, along with her purse, was then handed over to her family, which she then put, her hands behind her back and walked out of that courtroom.
In a way, it was the moment her freedom was stripped from her and taken from her. Also, McCoy was able to watch all that happen. What was happening as she was leaving the courtroom?
So I watched McCoy throughout the trial to see if he would look at McKnight while he was on the stand. I didn't see him look over at McKnight once, almost seemingly avoiding to look at her at all. But as she was being
what was he supposed to look at her for? She shot him. I don't even got to say allegedly. The jury said she did it. And I ain't gonna lie, just listening to what we just heard, I kind of feel like she did it too. Because at this point, why you got all that on you, okay? And if you didn't do it, who did it? You had to see it. You was that close to a gun? Come on now. Well, and then, and I'll be honest, like, it's so much privilege because, like, bruh, you already knew you was guilty. You should have took that off before, like, I would have been like, bring your ass on, judge. Okay, you locked up my cousin Day the other day. But hey, that's a viral situation that's going on. I wonder. She said, all my life I work hard on this bench. I can't meet no new meat. I like this meat. You gonna stay with me. God dang it. Yeah. Scene. Yeah, I'm trying to work on my acting. I think I can give me a little Tubi part somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, that's how how I feel about it is, hey, you did wrong. Luckily she was brought to justice. Hey, but attempted murder is crazy. Like you couldn't even succeed as a judge because you fucked around and did some dumb shit. Now you're not a judge. You couldn't. Attempted murder is crazy. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. Catch y'all next one. And like I said throughout the video, that's my opinion. And if you don't like it, guess what?
I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hold on, wait, before I go, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me to book your slot. A lot of y'all be hitting me up on Instagram and the email wanting to just talk about content, whether you're an up-and-coming content creator or somebody just got questions about cases or whatever. Book your consultation with me now. The information is on the screen. Hey, make sure you get your slot, because my slots be filling up fast.
This is the weakest, give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from. Hey, this your girl Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina.